China, I don't think they're going to develop their drone industry that way, because like their whole modus operandi, of the government is keep power centralized within the government, right? And I think our real advantage would be is like, let's show how drones can be used by the everyday person in a way that just isn't legally ever going to be allowed in a country like China, right? Because technologically speaking, they're already way ahead of us, right? But if we start like, hey, we're not going to try to beat them by and large building flying cameras or, these mission-specific delivery drones or these mission-specific agriculture drones, but make something more akin to like a personal computer, right? That can be used for, doing your home deliveries, watering your garden, fertilizing your yard, sending your kid to go play laser tag with it, or, other games, right? Like, and it becomes more a part of your everyday life in that sort of way. That's, I think, where, we can stand out, and even more particularly as a company, what we're working towards,
Well, I know I was in China actually last year, and there was a lot of things that were in China that would go against our, rules and regulations and laws and all that. So there are actually a lot less rules and regulations for a lot of things that they have out there. I'm trying to think of specifics. It's not coming to my head, but I think we're actually really restricted on our rules and regulations. So that whole ability to have this free fly all the drones all over is going to be very hard just on our side with the amount of rules and regulations that we have to go through.
Yeah, and not even just the rules and regulations, even the understanding of them by the everyday person that, you were talking about, you've had experiences, people shooting down drones with, your customers or even operations you've been a part of. I've had similar sort of experiences, and a lot of it isn't even necessarily just the shooting down the drone, but it's just like, well, I don't want a drone operating over my property. That's my property. And people think, they own everything below the ground, like down into the ground and everything up in the sky. And it's like, no, as much as like, I may even want that to be the case, not actually saying that. I do think it should be a public airspace, but in the way that it is currently, it's technically speaking public airspace, but just totally controlled by the FAA.
Yep.
But for all intents and purposes, it's the FAA's airspace that they let us use. And I think it should be the other way around. It's public airspace, and then maybe specific like military operating areas. Again, that's a big one that,
Airports.
What's that?
Airports.
Airports, yeah. But again, even with the whole